The pushback for Boris Johnson has already begun, with Dan Wootton on, is it GB News or Talk TV, saying that the report has overreached itself. I think there's much more ground to be shared with somebody like Maya Tousi. Maya Tousi, I like Maya Tousi. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of what he says, of course. But last night I think he was the first to reveal the Bernard Jenkins story, and he was, of course, eagerly on to Nadine Dorries' decision not to step down. That he said that she was about to take down Rishi, and he has a theory, which I think probably is sound, that Hunt allegedly fiddled his way into number 11 and ousted first Boris and then Liz Truss. Well, it wouldn't have taken much to oust Liz Truss, frankly. She was as mad as a box of snakes, to use the Hugh Grant description, I think. And allegedly. Allegedly. Well, we're just waiting for the doctor's decision. And, you know, the men in the white suits. But if Hunt was culpable of some dark arts, Rishi was as well, and that's certainly the impression Maya gives. As for Nadine Dorries, I think he's paraphrasing, but if I'm going to go down, I'm taking everyone else with me, is Nadine and Boris's approach. Yep, scorched earth policy, that is exactly what we're seeing. She believes that she was blocked, and the only alternative to Ducolax that she can find is to stay on, not to resign. She has to do it. She's obliged to do it. She says much speculation about the time when I was appointed, or when my appointment for the House of Lords was initiated. So she's put out a freedom of information request to various organisations around the parliamentary estate. They're not covered by freedom of information, of course. So she is going to be blocked again, and in this perpetual constipation, she is going to hang on and be a thorn in the side of Rishi Sunak, or in Maya language, drop another grenade. I don't think it's a grenade after so much constipation. Revenge, and it's not good. It's not good for the governance of the country. It's not good for the Conservative Party. It's not actually good for the opposition. This will be another distraction, but if it distracts from Suella Braverman's agendum, mad agendum for the migrant crisis, that itself is going to unleash litigation like no one has seen before. And again, people are going to be caught up in that litigation. People are going to be caught up in that madness. People are already caught up in that madness. If you are a foreign student in the UK trying to negotiate your way, let's say, from A-levels through to university, you will find yourself in a mess. I promise you would have to have the advice and the support of God directly in order to avoid chaos. And if by any chance you're doing it in some sort of independent way, this is going to be costly and it's going to be frustrating, because the system is set up to trip you up. That is called Mrs. May's hostile environment. It is still active, and indeed it has been whipped up with fury by Suella Braverman, because she knows the only people that she can legitimately target under the rules are students. It's absurd. It's absurd. They're the only people who are well enough documented to be plucked out of the air, and who are, they're young enough to have made mistakes. and so on a technicality, their future is in such a mess. And now we find that students who have managed to survive that get to the end of their time in Cambridge and don't get any result because there's a strike. For goodness sake, mend this failing system. And Gillian Keegan, or Keegan Gillian, or whatever her name is, why would we care about her name? Because we never hear anything of sense from her. We never hear from her. She's another one of these mute ministers. She's the Minister for Education. Why doesn't she do something? Why doesn't she say something? Why doesn't she intervene? Why doesn't she negotiate with the unions? Oh, for God's sake. It's time some of these lazy ministers got off their backsides and actually tried to do something. Meanwhile, of course, that's the image of Nadine Dorries, stuck on her backside straining.